Hello lovelies, welcome to narcfreeformula. My name is Freedom. Thank you for joining me. Today's episode is about why narcissists hold a grudge. Anyone who's been involved with a narcissist knows that narcissists are petty, narcissists are easily triggered, they live in a bit of a fantasy world, literal la la land, and they have kind of cast us in different roles essentially. So when you do something very human outside of the role that has been assigned to you by the narcissist, so to say, I don't know, you weren't as adoring as you should be, the narcissist gets butt hurt over this. So if you've ever escaped a narcissist, or you have exposed a narcissist, told the truth about them, if you have damaged their reputation in any way, damaged their finances in any way, they will be holding a grudge. And the reality is that you might not even know it, because they have the capacity to pretend, because let's not forget, they wear masks. So masks, they wear masks, they have the capacity to literally be friendly, pretend, be nice even, be nice even. But underneath that mask is the reality, and what lurks there is resentment, and it runs deep. Like I said, they can hold a grudge for a lifetime. This is why you always hear narcissists talking about their parents, saying bad things about their parents, saying bad things about, people, their family members or whatever from years and years ago. Kind of non-disordered people, just get over that stuff. We put distance between it and ourselves. We accept that, I don't know, being a parent, for example, isn't an easy thing. And so we accept that our parents did the best job that they could. Most parents do, right? But with the narcissist will always carry on and on and on to anyone who'll listen about how hard they had it as a child, and basically what a victim they are of their circumstances, and how, it's amazing that they survived their childhood and how strong they really are to have gotten through all of that. I mean, as I said, this is just a narcissist holding a grudge, talking it up, making it bigger than it was, going over and over and over things that should have been left in the past and forgotten about. I've talked about this before. The brain's kind of wiring is just like the old-fashioned record, right? With the grooves in it. When you play over and over and over the same groove, so keep telling the same story, the grooves on the record player actually get thicker. So this is in part how the human brain works. The memories that you remember over and over and over, the brain synapses, the memories kind of, and the impulses going between the brain wiring, that gets stronger and you'll lose other memories. So this is what the narcissists do. They're kind of rewiring their own brain to be really miserable, right? To be, as I said, to be perpetually the victim because it feels so good. It feels really good to be getting all that fuel from sympathy and people saying, gee, it's amazing. It's amazing how strong they are to have, put up with that or got through that. But in actuality, it's just they use it, as like I said, it's a cover story essentially. Because in actuality, if they didn't have this story to tell, right, what would their lives actually amount to? What would they have achieved? Not much, right? So this is why they need these stories. They need to hold these grudges. They need to have wicked ex-wives, bad bitch mothers. They need that. They can't just be going out into the world and the world seeing them for who they really are. They need their stories. They need to hold these grudges, and you need to be careful because it's really easy, like I said, to fall for the facade, to fall for the mask and the illusion that, everything's fine with us. You know, it's been a few years, there's been no drama, we're all good. I myself recently fell for it as well. That exact thing. Him putting on a mask and being friendly and talking like a parent to a parent, and, everything was fine, it was all good. And then something happened in the conversation where I triggered something in his brain, right? And the mask slipped and the silence came, and then I realized, it's like, oh my God, that's right, he's still seething with rage. I forgot about that, because I'm non-disordered, so I can move on. Everything that man's put me through, and I can still move on and go, all right, well, that was then, this is now, there's time, space, and distance between us. I can do that. He can't do that, and that's what makes him dangerous. So that's why you need to remember, the narcissist will hold this grudge against you for something in their mind that you have done. They want you to suffer. They don't want you to live happily ever after without them. Right? Remember, there's always going to be payback, whether you know it or not. They're going to try and mess you up in ways that you can't even imagine. So you might have strings of bad luck. You might get a flat tire in the car. You might get the IRS going through your taxes. You might get someone reporting you to Family and Child Services. This is the kind of thing narcissists do. It's, what's the word? Combative. They will use the system to get to you. They will use other people to get at you. They will use any tool and anything that they have to their availability to get at you. You have to remember. So you might not even think, it might not even cross your mind that any of those things were related to the narcissist, but each and every one of them could be. Right? Sure, it might just be a string of bad luck, but this is what narcissists do. Like I said, they use government agencies against people, like the tax department, family and child services, that kind of thing. That's what they do, And as I said, they're holding a grudge of proportion that you cannot even begin to fathom in your mind. You cannot even begin to fathom. Because this is the other thing also. You remember when we were with them, we loved them. That was real love. When they were with us, that wasn't real love. So that's why they feel differently towards us. As I said, we have the capacity to say, we were together, I loved him, it didn't work out, it wasn't good, we went our separate ways. That's the end of the story. But for the narcissist, it's not the end of the story. It never, ever will be. If you're ever in any part of their realm and their reality, so if they're thinking about you, if they're on the phone to you, texting you, in public meeting you, if you're ever in any of their realms, right, like I said, just remember that layer, that mask is just underneath that friendly facade is this horrible grudge with rage that you just can't even begin to imagine. Rage at you. So be careful, lovelies, essentially is what I'm saying. Be careful, because I forgot my own golden rule. I literally forgot. I was like, oh, wow, it's amazing. I can talk to him now. No, he hasn't changed. They don't change. The mask changes. Their lounge rooms change. The scenery change. Their partners change. Right? But essentially, narcissists do not change. And like I said, this grudge, once they've got a grudge against you, it will be there forever. When you're with them and they've got get grudges, they can put it aside to get the fuel that they want from you, to get what they want from you. But once you're no longer with them, once you've escaped them, like I said, and create this narcissistic injury, when all that love turns to hate, gee, that gets dangerous. That gets really, really dangerous. All right, lovelies, thanks for listening. Bye.